Hey guys, this is Jeremy from 78 Productions. I am here at Compassion International in Colorado Springs. And if you don't know much about Compassion International, they are a global-minded ministry that is directed towards being able to support the third world countries, the children that grow up in poverty and really have terrible circumstances, to be able to give them shelter and clothing and food and a religious education to be able to understand who God is in their lives. If you haven't heard of them, I encourage you guys to go to compassion.com and just check out the website, look at what they do and their mission and vision for this ministry, and also look at some of the children that you could possibly sponsor. For just a few dollars a month, you could give all those things to a child that currently doesn't have anything. And that this understanding of being able to support kids in poverty goes from anything from infants that are just born all the way up to teenagers. And it can have different backgrounds of parents that are completely out of the picture, whether they passed away or they're just simply an orphan, to parents that are in their lives but just cannot find work or be able to support the family that they have. And so I'd encourage you guys to check out that website. Me and my wife actually have our own sponsor that we work with. His name's Papu, and he just turned 13 this year, so he's a teenager now. And he lives in India. Just recently visited New Delhi, is learning how to read and write, constantly tells us about how they're talking about Jesus and the hope that they have with him. And it's great just to be able to have this dialogue, to be able to write, hey, we live here in Colorado Springs. It's a completely different environment than what India is, but also to be able to ask the question, so what are you learning about Jesus? What is India like? And just be able to understand their world and to really develop a relationship with these students that you are able to sponsor. Now, I really encourage you guys to go there, but the reason that we're kind of having this talk is that we at the Air Force Academy, my youth group that I work with, are talking about priorities in life, and I just got done doing a video series on that. So what are priorities for teenagers? And we talk about, is a priority in your life to spend time with your family? Is school a priority for you, or is it just friends and hanging out, sports? So there's a lot of different ideas that we could talk about with this. But I want to know what it is for youth workers is a priority in your life. And there's a lot of different people that could be interacting with this question. I know 5 years ago I was a new youth worker, and I was constantly driven, I'm going to try to do the best I can and always keep God at the front. Make sure that my prayer life is as strong as possible, and realize that this is all about relationships. And 5 years in, I'm looking at this idea of priority and saying, did I really follow that? And if I'm honest with myself, I really didn't follow that idea at least as strongly as I want it to be. I still pray, I still read scripture, and I'm still trying to understand what God's calling is in my life as I go along. But I don't necessarily think I gave the priority of who God is, this idea of a world that's bigger than mine. Just as you're looking at the different images in the background, thinking of how blessed we are and how many more people out there need our help. And this video is not designed to guilt you into thinking, I need to sponsor 10 kids through Compassion. This video is not to say, you need to stop drinking Starbucks because of this. But I want to understand, or I want to know what your guys' priority in life really is. For the 30-year veteran, that might look a little bit different than someone that's brand new. For someone that's in a very small denominational church, that might look completely different than someone that's in a large urban setting. And so how does it that you evaluate your priorities as compared to just saying, okay, this is what I want to do, and 6 months later forgetting? And I've actually have a priority list that sits in my office that says, okay, guys, understand that my priority is God, and then it's family, and then it's work, and then friends and hobbies and stuff that come along with after that. But this idea of priority, a lot of people are really upset that I don't put work as my second priority in life. Family comes before them. If my wife needs me to drop everything and I'm not in a vital situation, I will drop everything for her. And with my work being ministry, that seems like it's kind of contradictory, but unless it's a God calling me to be here at this very moment and trying to be able to invest in students, that's work. Even when I go to club, that's still work. Now, if a student comes to me and says, Jeremy, I need to talk one-on-one, that's a different situation. That's what I've been called to do, is to work one-on-one with students. And so I really love to hear what you guys think as far as priorities in your life. Where does that list kind of look for you? Have you really held on to that list? And share with me just some of the ideas down in the comments, what that has looked like over the past year, years, decades, whatever it's been for you. Have you been able to hold on to that? Has there been struggles along the way? Have you had to make changes in your life from experience and wisdom that you've been able to learn from? So I'd love to hear what you guys have to say below, and check us out next week. Thanks.